Former Virginia Governor Doug Wilder. Once again, good to have you with us. Thank you so very much.
My pleasure indeed, Sam. Good to be with you.
Talking about Virginia and its history, let's focus on the state legislature and the governor and how over the years, Virginia's always managed to have a balanced budget. Is there some special secret to that, governor? Is there just an understanding that we're going to be, we, meaning the legislature and the governor, are going to be bipartisan about it? I can remember back in the early 90s when you were governor that there was a recession, a national one, and you won great plaudits for keeping Virginia's finances in order and the budget balanced. What's the secret to it, if there is a secret?
Well,
How'd you make it?
no secret. That's the matter. The openness of spending would be the answer. When I was elected governor, I was just happy, as you would imagine. So I went to see my predecessor, who had run on the ticket to be governor when I was lieutenant governor, to say to him, this is December, the budget has to be presented in January. When I make my speech, my first speech to the session, how much money do we have? And he told me, he said, I'm not going to leave you broke. I said, well, that's comforting, but I want to know how much money do we have? He said, I'm going to leave you with $35 million. I said, no, I'm talking about the state budget. He said, no, I'm going to leave you with $35 million. I said, you can't mean that. And he said, well, that's it. We've scraped, we've cut, and everything else. So my very first meeting.
And Governor, so that we can put this in comparison, what was the total state budget biannually at that time, to give people an understanding of how small an amount $35 million really was?
About $250 million, at least 200 plus million.
I see. All right, sir. Good
so
enough.
When I first called in my finance director, my budget director, and my people who were advising me on the cross currents, I said, look, the very first thing we're going to do, not going to spend a dime, but I want you to go out and find me in savings. Sometimes we might have to go through an early retirement with some of the state employees. Sometimes we might have to close an office that doesn't need to be existing. We had 2 student loan offices within 6 blocks of each other, right in the city of Richmond. I said, that's duplicate. We don't need that. So I said, I want $250 million, and we're going to establish a rainy day fund, the reserve fund, that no one can dip into without replenishing it. They told me I was crazy, my own people. So they came back and said, Governor, we got some good news for you. You asked us to find you $250. We have found $75 million. I said, you are can-do people. You told me you couldn't do it, and look what you did. You found $75 million. That the day is Thursday. I'm going to meet with you Tuesday. When I meet with you then, I want you to find me $250 million. They said, we've scraped the barrel. I said, you said that before. Ultimately, they came and scraped and scraped and scrambled. And ultimately, we got the $250 million. I had convinced one of my good friends, who was a doctor and a senator from Wise County, Dr. John Buchanan. Said, John, I want to put this in the state constitution. I want you to lead the effort on in the legislature to make certain that what we are doing is enshrined in the Constitution, so that you have to have a balanced budget. And you can't go into it if you take any money out of this rainy day fund, the reserve fund, they call it. You have to restore it. And that is what we had. All people were complaining and complaining. And yet, Financial World magazine voted Virginia the best fiscally managed state in the country 2 years in a row in my administration. So I'm very, very proud of that. And that is what guides Virginia today. And that's why Virginia is not broke today. And won't go broke.
Well, everyone can always learn that, as I've been told over the years, spending money is very easy. Saving it and guarding it is a lot tougher to do. But you managed well with it, Governor. And again, that insight and history is, again, very worthwhile for the viewers to understand. And so once again, I thank you so much for your time and your input.
Always good to be with you and look forward to joining you with you more in person. Good to see you.